It's time for our next panel about luxury management, as I said previously, and I'm very pleased to introduce our panelists. I will read your names, guys. Actually, we have guests from abroad, and I will start with actually our ex-student Anja Kaličanin, because we already know each other, who is pursuing a master degree in luxury management at University of Monaco. And then I am pleased to introduce our guests from abroad, as I said. Sorry for if I don't pronounce your names correctly, but Andrei, Iacobus.
That was amazing.
Okay, okay, great. And Simone Trivelli.
Indeed, good afternoon all.
Hello, welcome on board. With us is also Goran Jordanov, which will represent Sommet Education, Glion, and La Roche, prestigious schools for hospitality management, business management as well. So guys, let's go step by step. As you already know, the goal of this panel is to introduce our audience to luxury management, hospitality management as well, and to encourage them to consider this kind of career. Your personal experience will be very useful for them because it's all about our personal stories, and we are usually inspired and motivated by other people. So feel free to share anything that you consider useful. Of course, I will make some questions to make this panel discussion very structured, but at the same time, I would like to ask you to just be yourself and share whatever you consider useful. Okay, let's start with some kind of useful topics and questions. Maybe we can start with Goran's experience, because I believe he's like the one who should open this panel. Goran, considering your vast experience with students from all around the world who would like to pursue a degree in hospitality management, what would you say? What is the key trends for this for hospitality industry, and the key topics to consider before pursuing this degree?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Yelena, for hosting. Thank you, Via Academica, for organizing the forum. It's my pleasure to be here today. So I'm the Regional Admissions Director for Glion and La Roche for Central Europe and the Nordics, and in my capacity, I meet a lot of young and very inspiring young people who then pursue studying with us. And I just want to put just a remark that Glion and La Roche, we are known for our hospitality degrees, but we are also very strong in the field of luxury. We have masters, executive masters in luxury management as well. We have a masters in marketing and management for luxury tourism. So it's a topic known to us. And the way this topic came to us is because employers came to us asking for our students to start working in those markets, in those fields. The way I feel the industry is going, it's going in a very good direction, in the sense that, well, the topic today is AI and robots and things like that. And I think that's going to impact the industry, of course, in the future, like anybody else. But the impact is going to be in the sense of probably business optimization, while at the same time keeping this personal approach to everything we do in luxury, making things very unique. As I recently heard from a very nice person, he said, what about robots? He said, what about robots? I mean, yes, it's important to be in touch with a person, but if I have a 6-hour flight, I'm not going to wait 20 minutes in a line at reception for somebody to ask me how was your flight. And he was very right. I don't want to, we need to define what amazing exceptional service means. And it's not about waiting 20 minutes in line to be asked, how was your flight? It's way beyond that. So maybe that's a good topic to also discuss. But what I see among students is a strong desire to work with people, to work in jobs that are very global, very international, and to be capitalizing on their, what I call, curiosity for other cultures, for other businesses, and their desire to work with people. That's maybe the summary of it.
Thank you for this introduction, actually, to our main topic today. I actually didn't introduce our speakers and guests completely because I wanted you to tell your story briefly. So, Anja, please, can you tell us something about you and something about the degree that you are studying at the moment?
Yes, of course. So my name is Anja. Currently, I'm in Monaco at the International University of Monaco. I started my studies in Belgium, where I did business administration. And I went to a bigger university that was public, and I was looking for something smaller and something more warm, let's say it like that, which was the International University of Monaco. And I'm doing luxury management, but there are three specializations. There is hospitality and events management, which is what I'm doing. There is fashion and accessories and brand management. And now they're also going to have yachting from next year. So yeah, the way I chose the school was basically I realized that luxury management exists, which it takes a while, and which is why I think this panel is actually really great to find out different industries that you can work in. And I found out about the University of Monaco and then the luxury management as well. And I realized that it's the perfect fit because I've always wanted to do something with customer experience. And we can all agree that customer experience is the best in the luxury industry. So that was kind of my way of thinking. And then when I was choosing my specialization, at first I thought that I was sure that I'm going to do hospitality or more so events management. And so I chose it, but I also knew that with events and hospitality, again, the service marketing, the service management, which is more and more and more important these days, I mean, it's the most prominent in that field. So I decided that I'm not going to focus on brand management, but I'm going to focus on hospitality and events. So yeah, so now I'm here and I'm enjoying it a lot. I also learned about new industries as well, like the yachting industry, which is very prominent in Monaco. We have the yachting track, which was also very nice to learn about. So yeah.
Great. Anja, it seems that you already, let's say, found your path or found your passion for something more specific. It's about hospitality, it's event management, but it's also yacht industry. Great. You can share more things about this in when we continue on another round of questions. I would like to ask our gentlemen to add, actually, to share their stories because you already have work experience, if I'm not wrong. So you can just give us an overview from hospitality and luxury management studies to your real-time job. Whoever
Andrei, I
wants.
think you start because you're currently in a full-time position, maybe, and then Simone, you
Oh,
can
that's
continue.
great. Uh-huh.
So my name is Andrei. I'm really pleased to be here. I am an La Roche Marbella alumni. Luxury marketing management was my master. I have a bachelor's in marketing, and then I did my master's at La Roche. And right now I am working in advocacy for the Couture Brands unit of L'Oreal. And this basically means, to put it in more simple words, is that I work with Armani, Prada, YSL, and Valentino on the perfumes and makeup. And you asked about this experience of transitioning from the educational part to work. In my master, where I did, as I said, I did luxury marketing, you talk about hospitality, of course, because La Roche is a hospitality school, but in our marketing program, you talk a lot about customer experience, consumer behavior, what happens in the mind of the person that interacts with a service or a product that is in the luxury sector. And when I got the chance of going and working in retail and working with something with products, I thought that would be a nice adventure, a nice experience. So I went for that. And right now, I am kind of close to what Anja does because I organize events. And what advocacy is, for people who don't know the terms, is basically I work with influencers. I send products and I do events for influencers as a means of communicating the brand and the products.
Sounds great. Yes, you have something in common. Actually, we will find some points in common for sure. What about you, Simone? Can you please share your story from studies to work?
So, good afternoon,
Good
and
afternoon.
I'm very pleased and honored to be here today. So, I'm Simone. I'm Italian, and I've done my bachelor in Glion Institute of Education in Switzerland. Was a bachelor in business administration in international hospitality business, and I specialize for the last years in international hotel development and finance. So naturally. And currently, I'm a master's student here in Glion as well, and I'm pursuing a master of science in luxury management and guest experience. Naturally, among these academic paths, I had the pleasure of working with some hotel companies in the world, let's say, and what this academic path was equipping me, and I can really speak on behalf of my fellow students as well, was the really the different and real life example approach that lecturers and professors were bringing to the class. So naturally, the hospitality, naturally, our degree goes very beyond the hospitality industry in terms not just be focusing on hotels and restaurants, but with, for instance, my specialization, we could go into hotel development or the finance side or events management or go into the luxury management. But what it very, in a way, sets very, very apart was the fact that we were not just studying the theory of our field, but we were matching it with real life example brought in class for our experienced faculty. And these allowed us, when we went in the field, to apply it, to in a way be able to kind of reapply those theory and aligning with the real life examples directly in our job.
Mhm. Okay, speaking about your experience, student experiences, I would like to make a stop here, let's say like that. Can you please explain us what is the learning environment in your hospitality and luxury programs? Because it's quite different from other study areas, and we should explain it and describe it with more details. What aspects of the curriculum of the campus experience was the most useful, valuable for you? We can go step by step, or actually everybody can share their point of view. Maybe Goran can start again. What he would say about that learning experience and learning environment.
Okay. Thank you again, Yelena. I'll be very brief because I was a student too many years ago.
Okay.
So that was many moons, as we say. But I love this job because it keeps me young, because I deal with lovely people like the ones we have on the panel today. And in a way, I become a student 100 times every year per year, so that I feel in the vein of this. I'll say what's unique about Glion and La Roche in the learning environment sense is bringing faculty with experience over academics. Of course, they have strong academic backgrounds, they do research, but they also come with a lot of professional experience. And then also applying the knowledge. I mean, in both in La Roche, Andrei can speak a little bit more about our Brands Week. Simone can say a little bit about our trips out of the campus. We go to different cities around the world, and we try to put the students in front of different brands so that they can learn from them. And it's not a trip where you just go and have fun, and just look around. It's a trip where they actually have to deliver quantifiable learning outcomes. So for us, it's very important to have that link always between what we learn in the classroom, how does it apply in real life. I mean, in Glion, I know now sometimes we even take students truffle hunting to learn about fine foods and truffles, right? So to that level, it's very important to really get your hands dirty and kind of experience things by doing them. So that's maybe my perspective. But everybody else, I'm sure the students on the
Yes, they
panel can
will.
share more.
Of course. Anja, can you tell us something about your learning environment in Monaco?
Yes, so Monaco, I think, is a little bit more specific. It's a little bit different considering that Monaco is our campus. It's a smaller, more intimate environment, I would say. And as for the hospitality, to be honest, for my first semester, we were more focused on luxury and by itself. And now I'm more focusing on hospitality, and I'm going to even more focus on it in a couple of weeks. But basically, I do see we have the same approach of getting your hands dirty and actually getting to know different companies and different professionals and basically people in the field. We learn a lot about the whole ecosystem of Monaco, as we call it, which has very strong hospitality, and everything is connected. And we also generally we have experiences. For example, we're going to a field trip in 2 weeks, where we're going to see different hospitality things in Milan. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's
Sounds
it.
great. Thank you. And Andrei, when you recall your master, what would you emphasize? What was so special? Is there any tipping point for you? Any specific experience? Of course, you can describe more than that, but maybe we can also focus on one thing.
Right. So I have three main things that when I look back, I can see
Nice.
that, okay, this was valuable. First of all was the Brands Week. And at the end of your study, you have 1 week, and every day you have three, sometimes even four companies that come on campus, and they talk to you and they explain their business models. They explain everything that they're doing. And they also give you a little window that you can interact with them, and you can actually, in the end, apply to a job or internship there. And you have in this Brands Week companies we had Loewe for fashion, we had Drumelia Real Estate, which has the #1 real estate agent in Spain. We had Bentley and some other luxury car dealership companies. Also hotels. This is one thing, the Luxury Brands Week. The second thing is the whole focus that they put throughout the semester on this career fairs, because I don't know if I mentioned, I was the sub-leader of the Ambassadors Association. And basically, one of the main things we organize career fairs on campus. In my last semester, which was last spring, we had almost every week a career fair where we had at least 5, 6 companies coming on campus to talk to students and help them apply for internships, explain to them what they're looking for. So as it has been mentioned, creating this bridge between what happens in the classroom and what will happen once you finish. Because for me, especially as a master's student, I went to get a master's, so then after I can get a good job and have a good network and understand how this whole luxury industry works. So these career fairs that the university hosts, they're really important. And the third, I would say, I really had one teacher that I liked a lot, and he came with study cases on all the industries, from champagne to luxury cars to watches to fashion. So in 1 week, we had this guest lecturer, and he took us through everything, which was amazing.
Nice. Thank you for sharing your experience. And what about you, Simone? You are on the campus, right? And so you are like, you have fresh impressions about everything. So please share some of them with us.
Indeed, very, very ongoing impressions. So definitely is the international networking that we as a student are exposed, I would say, really on a daily basis. And since our very beginning of our journey here on campus, because as Gordon was mentioning, our semester 1 for the bachelor and the master student goes into field trips. So for instance, master 1, depending on the program and on if it's international hospitality business or luxury, we'll go to a different city to get an overview and a better understanding what's hospitality and high-level restaurants and fine dining is. So, for instance, the bachelor in luxury goes a week to Milan to understand the Italian gastronomy, and goes a week to Paris to understand what's the French cuisine has to offer and what's is really this luxury hospitality business. It's very to get on hands experience, because when we're there, as Gordon was mentioning, we are not there to visit the city. We're not there to enjoy our time there. It's part of our academic and learning journey over there. So it is very to already start to connecting with professionals, and because the school organizes some presentations with, for instance, in a few months, I'll be going in Milan for my field trip as a luxury management guest experience student. And we will have a private presentation with Loro Piana, with Ferrari, we'll have with the headquarters Richmond. We will talking with the general manager of Four Seasons, which is a Glion alumni. We will have the chance to go and meet the boutique director from Couture Brands. And in these typology of settings, those events in a way already allowed us to be exposed to professional and high top ranking individuals, which in a way we have to kind of get in contact to, because when we're going to step out of the master studies, we'll be looking for employment. And actually all this networking since the very beginning of our journey are essential for us. Additionally, I think a very strong point of our institution is our recruitment day. And naturally, as I was mentioning, the incredible networking Glion has worldwide made us to bring more than 250 recruiters each year on campus, where we have the possibility to have an exposure with them, an approach with them, and a very even interview on the same day with international professionals, general manager, HR manager, which they might be flying all over the world. We have companies from Dubai, we have got somebody coming from US, Europe, Middle East, and these we have a very private approach with those companies, because they're coming on campus. So on that day we're very strong on networking to create those bonds that will be needed for our internship, our potential job over there. And we're not just focused on hotel industry. So naturally, Mandarin Oriental, Four Seasons, all those hospitality conglomerates are coming on campus with their very strong team to recruit us. But we have some development companies coming in. We do have Elbow and Marsh representative coming in. We've got Luxury Brand coming in with JP Morgan, which has come and recruit students on our campus for JP Morgan in Geneva, because the vice president of wealth management is a Glion alumni as well. And an additional point is the private networking event we have with this big name of hospitality industry, which they call C-suite. So a couple of days ago, the chief financial officer of Accor came on campus to have a speech to the student body, a small conference where the students were able to ask directly questions to her and ask about her career and how we could reach that level. Last semester came in the chief executive officer of Mandarin Oriental, and having this very direct and approach with them, asking them advice on our career and how we can develop our skills in a manager and to arrive to this top-notch position is a fantastic experience, and is definitely already set the standard. First is the requirements, and afterward what we're going to pursue when our degree will be over.
It's like you already mentioned, it's a real life approach, definitely. With all that you describe, it's the best way to say it like that. So let's go speaking about real life approach and all the experiences that you are having on the campus and out of the campus through those activities, brand weeks, field trips. I believe there were some challenges. It's not. Of course, we are all humans. It's one of the topics like, let's say, for us today, that hospitality is not about robots and about artificial intelligence, it's about people. So what were your challenges maybe that you faced during the program, that you overcome? And on the same side, I believe it was the very rewarding experience to overcome it and to get some conclusions, change your mindset. So can we go back to those moments, challenges, maybe problems, whatever you can share on this topic, Anja?
Yeah, so first for me, I think that the biggest challenge was probably switching the structure of the studies. So in between Belgium and a public university, moving on to a smaller private university, it is a biggest switch. And I think that that was the biggest challenge, mostly because I think that IOM really supports its students through all of the processes, from visas to sharing housing to the career week as well, finding jobs, and everybody is very welcoming and very nice, which is why I think that the biggest challenge for me was to switch. But even that, it was not that hard, because also this approach I realized is better for me. It's more personal with the professors, it's smaller groups, which it's very important to find the education that works for you, and for you to know and to get to know yourself, actually, to know, oh, do I actually like going to mandatory classes, or do I like studying on my own? Do I like case studies and more real life approaches, or do I like more theory? And I think that that is going to be important for me. So yeah, once you have that done, I think that it's very easy to kind of get yourself used to everything. And as for the rewards, for now, I'm looking for my internship with the help of the university and also on my own as well. So for now, my rewards from the University of Monaco, they're still incoming, let's say. And as for my last degree, I think it's when you learn and when you get to know what you actually know, when you come from one environment and you go to another one, and you actually understand and your value and what you bring to the table, because you have stepped out of your comfort zone and you've done something different, and you can actually compare yourself with other people in that same environment instead of staying in the same old. So yeah, my biggest reward was kind of understanding what my value is, probably. And
wow,
yeah,
it's a big reward.
Yes.
Great.
It's really nice to know that.
Thank you, Anja. What about you, Andrei? What was your biggest challenge and biggest reward?
I think that my biggest challenge was something that now I want to do more, which was dressing every morning in a suit.
Wow.
because well, you have to do it. This is the industry, and once you come to in a school like this, you have to dress in a suit every day.
Thank you for being honest with this. Thank you.
Because I will tell you something even more personal. I'm an artist, I'm a musician. For me, dressing in a suit and putting on a tie was nothing natural to me. But as they say, it takes 21 days to get a new habit. In the first month, that was no longer a problem. I remember the first time I did a knot on my tie was on the first morning, and I woke up 30 minutes earlier just to learn how to do that. But now I'm so happy when I have an event at work and I get to dress up a little bit more nicely, because not working in a hotel means I don't have to dress up like this. And if I go in a suit at L'Oreal, a lot of people will be like, okay, who does this guy think he is? But yeah, I think that's jokingly. This was something to get adjusted to, right? But another challenge that I think you will face anytime in life, regardless of it's university or work, One good thing about La Roche was that you learn a lot in teams and you work a lot of team projects. And maybe sometimes I made the mistake of teaming up with friends. And these friends, they would have really different work styles rather than me. So let's say that in my second semester, I started doing work with people I knew less, so it was less personal, or just do them with some of them alone, because sometimes working with people is not the easiest task for some people. But again, this is nothing related necessarily to this school in particular. It's just something that happens to people. Yeah. Besides that, something that I really like now, to put on a tie and to, as I said, to put on a suit. I love that. Whenever I get the chance to put on a suit, I cannot wait to do that.
I'll just comment very quickly. This is hilarious for me. I knew that you are into, of course, drums and bartending and stuff, and I can imagine the challenge. But about what you said about the group work, it's something that I do in my pre-departure webinars always. I tell students, get into groups where you can meet more people, learn new people, learn the skill of getting out of your comfort zone and deal with people that are not familiar to you, that culturally are not familiar to you, personally as a human being are not familiar for you, because in real life, you never work with the A team always. You always have to work with people that are not in your mindset, that are probably not at your level of motivation. Some would be more motivated than you, some would know more about this than you, some would know less. So it's good to have this variety in groups. Very good point, Andrei. And sorry, I just wanted to jump in.
No
Simone, go ahead.
It's very useful to have your perspective as well. Simone, it seems that you don't have any challenges with your tie. So yeah, that's already done, already learned. What about, like we said, real life challenges?
Yeah, so I think this is very potential at the beginning of the program. You see, you come in from your comfort zone, where I personally studied in Italy before joining here at Glion in Switzerland. So it might be really the adaptability you and kind of this open-minded approach we have to kind of always maintain, especially as such international settings as Glion is. We welcome on campus more than 100 nationalities, and this is something we very, very proud. But you see, potentially one of the challenge, I don't want to really say challenge, because I think all those difficulties I kind of encounter in time management as well, because being really fast-paced and highly immersive program, it requires you to deal with a lot of projects, a lot of events going on, a lot of networking events, a lot of recruitment that goes on as well. So what, in a way, this is more challenging that we face, it definitely shaped myself personally and professionally. So I really see it as something that shaped and supported me and helped me in advance my capabilities and my skills. If we go into the positive part and the rewarding part, I think there's different. I'll be quite fair. I think Glion, from my perspective, gave me a lot, and that's why I decided that person to continue to pursue my master as well after 3 years and a half of my bachelor. One of them is definitely being into the ambassador program, leading a team of ambassador program after a few semesters, but is really the intangible, let's say, experience, because it's the relationship that me as a student has as development with faculty, with my classmate, with industry leaders. And I've been now an ambassador for almost 4 years, and I'm now a senior ambassador, so I'm leading a team, and we're just finishing the recruitment process for the next team for this upcoming semester. And I think it's really maybe meeting somebody in an open day a couple of years ago, and maybe you come here on campus and afterwards you see the same person and they perfectly remembers you, and just like, you really remembers you during the open day. You made a great impression, and I think in a way this is very rewarding, because you understand, you have the feeling you're making a lasting impact on what you're doing. And additionally, it's very this we're really a family. I'll be quite fair, even with our faculty and with our top management. They're there to support us for whatever needs we might really need. And for faculty, the only, even after a week, I just started today a course, which is sociology and economics in luxury. And this professor, she just met us and she already remembered all of our names. And I think this typology of approach is very detailed, which makes the difference, because at the end of really the details that make the difference in life, let's say, especially afterwards in hospitality industry. So this is really this approach that we have with our professor. They know you, they know your story. They're there to support there academically, professionally, and if you need any advice on a personal level, they step in and they're very happy to do so. So I think this is the most rewarding thing. And as I say, really making an impact and feeling it with all the project we're currently going on campus is really feeling that you're positively contributing to the success of the university. And I think this is immeasurable and valuable.
Andrei, please share your thoughts with us.
I wanted to add something to what Simone was saying earlier about adaptability and also respect. Once you get here, you're in an environment with over 100 nationalities. So you will meet people from all the continents, maybe all the countries, all the cultural settings, everything. So maybe one challenge that one should expect is to adapt to be part of such a society. Because once you're here, you're going to meet people that have behaviors or understand the world in a way that you don't. And this could be a challenge that you're so privileged to have. Imagine, this is a problem that you live with so many cultures. That's amazing. But this is something that you have to adapt to in your first months once you enter an environment like this, which then, as I can say now that I'm back in Romania, I miss my friends from all over the world, from having a movie night with a Colombian, an Italian, an Armenian, and I don't know. It's a really, really beautiful thing to have, and you make some friends and make some connections all over the world that are so beautiful. But in the end, for someone who maybe before that they have never lived abroad, that can be impactful. And I can say this as someone who has finished their studies in 4 different countries. The first one that I started, it was in the Netherlands. And that was a huge culture shock that people should expect. Not all of them. Some of them are just easier to get through, I guess, but it's something realistic to expect.
Okay. I think it's the perfect moment to introduce another topic, another round of questions for you, because we should speak about skills as well. Once you go through any difficulty, you gain some skill, right? You are stronger in a way. At least it should be like that. So I would like you to share some skills that you consider important. Now, not for your degree, for your future career path, and maybe skills that you gained, that you developed at the campus, and of course out of the campus. Anja, please, you can start with your experience, and then we will make the whole round.
Okay, so I think, first of all, I don't know if it's really a skill, but just being curious, it's very important. Curiosity gets you places. And to that, I think also critical thinking. That, I mean, you develop a lot, especially if you're in the right learning environment. Adaptability, as they have mentioned, with different nationalities, it's important to adapt in general, but also in hospitality and in the luxury industry, things can go wrong. People can change their minds, and you have to kind of adapt and do it like they want to most of the time. So yeah, those are some key skills that I would say, but a big exclamation point to the critical thinking and curiosity.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. So guys, Andrei, can you please tell us, what do you consider crucial?
Crucial for hospitality? is to smile, because you're working with people and you're working towards a positive emotion. This is what separates luxury from standard service, standard retail, standard whatever, is the emotion that you inspire in other people. So especially when you work with so many people, you have to know how to smile and you have to know how to be a people person. As I said before, to some it comes naturally, to some they have to train it. It's something that you can definitely train it. But remembering names and learning how to smile and how to be of service and to actually have the service mentality, that's what I think makes or breaks a good employee in the hospitality industry. And then you go into the more hard skills of, okay, you have events, you have, which are so important, and that's what finishes the job. But the attitude you come towards an employee or an employer, that's gonna make the difference, in my opinion.
Great, thank you for sharing this. Simone, what is your opinion?
So from my personal perspective, is really is the different perspective that your colleagues or your teammates can really bring to the table, and I think this allows us to see things in a different way, than maybe because of cultural aspect or personal settings we haven't seen. Maybe by embracing and understanding and potentially putting ourselves in their shoes, we see something that we would have noticed before. And I think this is really something very, very important, and embrace difference and respect it. And everybody can have their idea, but I think you really win as a person as well. You respect it, you share your idea, and you kind of not debate, but you kind of talk about, okay, I've got this idea because I see this, but maybe another person saw something different that I wouldn't even imagine. And this is, I think, is very, very important, and it will really lead us to very win in whatever industry you go to, but really especially hospitality industry, because I really think that hospitality industry is different worldwide. I just see the difference between the hospitality industry I found in Italy and the hospitality industry I find here in Switzerland. Completely different hospitality industry. And it is really nice to see a different approach of it and see which one you might be aligning with more or implementing afterwards something very different. And another thing which I think is very, very critical is task prioritization, time management, which is something which is very, very developed. I've been developing this a lot throughout my journey here in Glion, but I think understanding what needs to be delivered first is critical, is essential to accomplish what you need to do, and time management as well. And this is something I really, really, I constantly I think there's always time for improvement, especially within time management, and it's something I put always myself in discussion with. So to try always to develop this typology of skills, and naturally with a lot of events occurring on campus on a daily basis, I think this is a very good environment to well develop in this typology of skills.
Sounds great. Thank you, Simone. And I would also like to ask Goran to add something maybe that you can share with us from your perspective.
With pleasure. I'm going to give a much broader answer because, of course, there are a lot of specifics, like you guys say, whether it's curiosity, whether it's developing yourself to deal with intercultural management, whether it's task management. But I'll quote here something that I heard from one of my students who was on the executive MBA with us, Duarte. He's the GM, was GM in the Mandarin Oriental in Prague. He moved to Portugal. And he quoted something, I think, from a book, which was called that in the future, we need to learn how to automate the boring and humanize the exceptional in hospitality. So automate the boring, humanize the exceptional. And I think this requires different skill sets. So automate the boring, I think, is the part of the skill set where you need to be a visionary. So technology is overwhelming us. We talked about that a lot, AI, all these kind of things. A lot of leaders today are afraid of this, and they try to deal with it as a way we are in a boxing match. Whereas I think we need to see it as a friend we need to embrace it, and then we need to leap into the future. So we need to have a vision, and that's very important, to be visionary based on what you see. And then humanize the exceptional. I think that's connected a lot to your ability as a leader to coach other people, for them to follow you into that vision, to work with people, to make them feel, of course, inspired, but also to be able to execute on your ideas. So this is a space for time management, for things like this. Because if you have a great vision, we've heard all these quotes, right? A great vision without ever taking action, it's just a dream. And we need to be able to take action. And something that glues all this together is for you to be a trustworthy person. So I think for you to be a trustworthy person, it comes down to your character and competence. So you need to ask yourself this question. Who am I as a person? What are my values? I always ask this as an interview question when I interview new candidates. I ask, what matters to you the most in life and why? Because I want to know what's the value system of our candidate. And this is very important. So do you have good values, good ethical system? Are you a good person in general? So that's something very important that you cannot fake. You need to have it in you, and you need to nurture it. And then competence. So you need to develop all the skill sets that you need. And then around trust, once you can prove your results, once you prove your value, once you're constantly learning, everything else comes together. You'll be able to set a good vision. You'll be able to execute it. You'll be able to get people around you to rally with you. So in summary, let's learn how to automate the boring and humanize the exceptional.
And if I could just add, for
Sure.
more of a luxury industry
Sure.
specific, it would be attention to detail. It's very, very important in the luxury industry, anticipating the needs as well of who you are serving and who you are with. And those things, I think you can learn, but it's also something that you could be born with. And this intuition towards people and seeing and reading their face, reading their body language, and kind of knowing what they need already without them telling you specifically, it's very, very important in the luxury industry.
Thank you so much, Anja, for adding this, because to be honest, I haven't heard intuition mentioned on the panels, although I believe it's also important for our success, for any work experience. So as we have to wrap up this panel discussion, I would like to thank you once again for everything that you shared, everything that you mentioned. I'm sure it will be very useful to our students who are considering luxury and hospitality management. I would like to ask you to give some final advice, maybe one sentence, for those who are thinking about this kind of study field, this kind of career. Anything that can, from your point of view, wrap up our conversation. Who wants to start? I know it's not.
I see everybody's thinking, so I can just say,
sure, go ahead, please.
Be brave and be humble. That's it, I think. So just, you need to be brave, you need to pursue your ideas, but be humble along the way, appreciate people, and never be too full of yourself. There is always more to learn. There are people around you who can help you and who you can help. Give back as well as time goes by. But be brave and be humble. That's from me.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you, Goran, so much. Guys, it's your turn.
Sorry, can I?
Yeah, sure, Andrei.
I would say that people will learn when they're involved, but they will remember the way you make them feel. So going back to this combination of hard skills and soft skills, competence will make people learn, and it will involve them. But the way you make them feel is how they're going to remember you after years.
Great, thank you. I can confirm this from my experience. Okay, who would like to be next?
I can say. Well, for me, I think that it would be talk to people, contact them, get to know yourself, and get to know your second step. Think about what you need to do. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. Ask anything. Be curious, as I said. You can always, if you're thinking about luxury management, you can always contact me. Jelena, I'm sure will share my contact details. You can contact other people, get connected on LinkedIn, get to know what you're going to do next. And I think that's the most important step for the future.
Thank you, Anja. Sure, I will share your details to the students who are interested in getting in touch with you. Sure. And Simone, it's your turn.
I really think that I'll address this directly to the students. So guys, really be determined, set your goals, just keep it going, work hard, play hard, but enjoying the journey, because this is the side of the journey that will really shape you professionally and personally. You will meet a lot of people, you will attend a lot of events. Don't be scared, don't be afraid, just keep going. Like as I say, play hard, but it's really, really important that you enjoy the journey of it, because this is what it was about. And is the experience, which is what hospitality industry now is not just only as hospitality and luxury industries. It's not a bag, it is not an hotel, it's not a dish into restaurant. It's all about what's that restaurant, that boutique, how it made me feel. It's all about the experience. As I say, it's not just the bag. It's all about how I was feeling and why I choose that. So I'm sure you to the student who would like to keep in touch with me and asking any questions, I'll be more than welcome to direct them through the process and share any insight I might have.
Sure. Thank you very much, Simone. As a senior ambassador, I'm sure that you will be the right person to make questions. So once again, thank you very much. I enjoyed our conversation. It was very useful for me as well. I made some notes and of course, I will use them for next experiences like this. Of course, we will help any of students who are interested in apply for Glion La Roche and University of Monaco. Thank you once again. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I hope we will meet again. Bye bye.